Welcome back to Mission Possible. I'm Agent Stephen Brown, and I'm here to guide you on your next mission. Mission Get to College. This assignment is about all things college: admissions, applications, ACT scores, financial aid, scholarships, choosing a major, and student life. And you'll get an insider's look at 3 schools right in your backyard: Pearl River Community College, the University of Southern Mississippi, and William Carey University. If you successfully complete this mission, you should have a better understanding of the different types of colleges and programs available, what the admissions process looks like, maneuvering financial aid, and how you can be preparing today to get to college. So let's get this mission underway. Before I introduce the agents from the field that will be assisting us on our mission today, let me tell you about my Mission Possible credentials. I am the Assistant Director of Outreach for the Jackson Get to College Center, which is a nonprofit college planning agency which helps students get into college and find the money to pay for it. So from ACT prep, getting in touch with recruiters, creating your high school resume, completing financial aid applications, setting up job shadowing opportunities or campus visits, anything that you can think of that involves helping Mississippi students get into college and find the money to pay for it. That's what we do, and all of our services are 100% free. Today, I'm moderating a conversation between our field agents from PRCC, USM, and William Carey. And throughout our discussion, we'll take some short breaks to take a virtual tour of their campuses and hear from a current Wildcat, Golden Eagle, and Crusader. Y'all know those are their mascots, right? You should each have a Mission Possible student workbook. Go ahead and find the section for this mission so you can take notes as we go along. And remember, you'll have a field report to submit at the end of this mission. So do your best to stay focused, put away distractions, and get the most out of this. Okay, so let's meet our field agents and get this conversation going. Agent Brown to back up. Do you copy? Yes, the scholars are in place. We're ready for you.
Agent Chelsea Lyles, recruiter for Pearl River Community College, reporting for duty.
10-4.
Agent Colin Leggett with the University of Southern Mississippi reads you loud and clear.
10-4.
Agent Kelsey Smith for William Carey University, ready to get these students on track to college.
Thank you for taking the time to join me, agents. Let's do this. Okay, students, these are some of the recruiters for your local colleges. Their job is to tell rising students about their schools and recruit the best future Wildcats, Golden Eagles, and Crusaders out there. They're going to share a lot of information with you today, so pay attention and take good notes. But remember, they are here as a resource for you going forward. So don't be afraid to reach out to them to ask questions and learn more as you look for the right college and program for you. Everyone on the screen has the same goal. We want you to reach your full potential. Let's get started with introductions. Why don't each of you take 2 minutes to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your schools? Chelsea?
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm Chelsea Lyles from Pearl River Community College. I work in the Office of Advisement and Recruitment at the Hattiesburg campus. So Pearl River Community College is a 2-year college, and we have 4 locations. Our main campus, which offers athletics and housing, is located in Poplarville. That is about 45 minutes from here. The Forest County Center is right here in Hattiesburg, and our Hancock Center is located in Waveland, which is near the coast. Last but not least, we have our online, our virtual campus. Students can own their entire associate's degree online. So you might be thinking, what is an associate's degree? Pearl River Community College offers academic degrees as well as career and technical degrees. An academic degree is designed for you to complete your 2 years of coursework and transfer to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. If you would rather learn a skill set and take courses that prepare you to go directly into the workforce, then a degree in career and technical education may be for you. What I like to tell people is you can go anywhere from Pearl River Community College.
Thank you, Agent. Agent Colin?
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Colin Leggett. I'm an admissions counselor in the Office of Admissions at the University of Southern Mississippi. I'm also a former graduate of the University of Southern Mississippi, and I basically like to tell people that I just love Southern Miss so much that I never left because I was hired on the year after I graduated, and I love getting to recruit people from the area that I'm from. I grew up in Laurel, Mississippi, and so I enjoy getting to stay local for my education, and I'm always ready to talk to students who want to do the same. So Southern Miss is a medium-sized institution, and we have over 121 different academic degree programs and a lot of different ways for you to get involved and invested on campus with a wonderful student life. We have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And so that just basically gives you a great opportunity to really get involved and get invested on campus and find new people, and then also establish some great relationships along the way. So if you ever have any questions about Southern Miss, you go to girl.
Thank you, Agent. Last but not least, Agent Kelsey.
Like I said earlier, my name is Kelsey Smith. I'm an admissions counselor and recruiter for William Carey University here in Hattiesburg, which is our main campus. We have two other campuses as well. We have our Tradition campus, which is located in Biloxi, Mississippi. And then we actually just opened our nursing campus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, connected to Baton Rouge General Hospital. But Hattiesburg is the main one where everything is happening. That's where our athletics teams are based. That's where our housing is based as well. That's the campus that I graduated from as well. I graduated from William Carey, and much like Colin, I went straight from being a student at William Carey to working at William Carey. So I haven't left either. It's been a fantastic place. William Carey is a relatively small school. We've got about 5,000 or so students that are enrolled here at William Carey. On campus, though, we've got about 900 students that are on-campus students here. So we've got a 15-to-1 student to teacher ratio. Your academic class sizes aren't going to get any bigger than 40 students. So if you're looking for that small school feel and that small town feel and still getting your 4-year degree, then definitely check out William Carey.
Thank you, agents. So right out the gate, we've got some obvious things that jump out to me that I want to make sure our students caught. First of all, you each represent a different type of school. USM is a public 4-year university. William Carey is a private Christian university, and Pearl River Community College is a community college. They each have their own strengths and things to consider, but students will need to figure out which one is right for them. Chelsea, could you tell us about the community college structure and speak to unique strengths of a community college?
Yes. So a community college is based on whichever pathway you want to take. I mentioned the academic pathway and the career technical pathway. So students can take their coursework, such as their math, their English, their science, those type of courses that will transfer in-state, it'll transfer out of state to any 4-year institution. Or if they want to become a welder or go into HVAC, if they want to become an associate degree nurse, dental assisting, dental hygiene. I mentioned we have several campuses. Now, there's different programs on different campuses, but what some people may not know is that you can take all of your basic academic coursework at the Hattiesburg campus. It is not just a career technical center. We have many students that will transfer, say, to USM to go into accounting or business. We even have students that transfer to William Carey that go into nursing and things of that nature. So that's what I always like to tell my students is there's 2 different pathways of when coming to a community college.
Perfect. This is really, really good information. Kelsey, in addition to being a private Christian university, another big difference between William Carey and these other 2 schools here is how you guys handle the academic calendar. Can you tell us a little bit about how being a Christian school influences campus life, and also about the trimester system?
Absolutely. So one of the big things that you mentioned, since we are a Christian university, is we do have chapel once a week. All of our students will come into the auditorium. We have a time of worship, and we also have a speaker that will come in. It's usually only about 45 minutes, so you're not sitting there for 2 hours. It's not super, super long. It's kind of I usually saw it, especially as a student and even as a staff member now, kind of a time to just reset myself, just kind of take a break from the academics, just focus on something else for a little while. And that way I was ready to take on the rest of my day and the rest of our week. So that is definitely a big influence. One of our biggest groups on campus is our Baptist Student Union, and they're constantly going out and doing mission projects in the city of Hattiesburg and the community, and even stuff on campus that they do a lot as well. Referring to the academic calendar, we're actually on what's called a trimester system instead of semesters. So with a regular academic calendar year, you get 2 semesters in a year. With William Carey, you actually get 3 trimesters in an academic year. It's still the same amount of time, it's just broken down a little bit more. So you get 3 10-week trimesters. You get one that goes from August to October. Then you get a break in between, which is called our trimester break. And then you have one that starts in November and runs through February, and that's our winter trimester, which is always my personal favorite.
That is fantastic. And Colin, we can't leave the Golden Eagles out of this topic. I mean, USM is the only 4-year public university in the southern part of our state. So tell us what you think the selling points of a large university are, and then maybe speak to some of the shortfalls that come with being part of such a large school and campus.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we actually have about 15,000 students that attend USM, and we, as I mentioned before, we have that 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. That 15,000 number may sound really big, but we actually have an average class size of about 22 students. So that really kind of puts us in that sweet spot of not being too big and not being too small. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you have the opportunity with that size of our campus to see new people in your classroom and, you know, past strangers as you're going to and from classes. But, you know, when you're sitting in the fresh food company, one of our dining halls, you'll actually be able to walk in and know that you're going to see a familiar face when you walk in. So having that size really is used as an advantage where you kind of have an opportunity to kind of explore some different outlets you may not have had access to before. You may be able to get involved in different clubs and organizations you may have never even heard of before, but you also have an opportunity to just kind of stay comfortable, you know, make sure that you're doing what you can as a student to get involved, or if you just want to, you know, really capitalize on the fact that it may be a little bit smaller and really still maintain that small town feel, you have an opportunity to do so as well.
Outstanding. Okay, we're off to a great start. We've got some big topics to cover today: admissions, financial aid, and student life. But before we dive in, I want to go ahead and take the first of our virtual tours. First one up is the University of Southern Mississippi, the only public 4-year university in the southern part of our state, home to the Golden Eagles.
The moment I was here as a student, I found myself meeting people that made me think in a different way, and everyone I've met here has been very open and accepting and inviting. And if you hear people talking about Southern Miss, everyone says that. Everyone says that about our school, that the faculty here, the students here, even Hattiesburg in general, it's just different. Like, the people are nice, people want to talk to you and make relationships with you in the community.
As soon as I got here, I was immersed in tons of different cultures and a ton of diversity here that I didn't realize would be here. I've got people all over the place that I could go for anything that I would need, whether it's, hey, I need help doing this, or if I'm getting ready to apply for this job, what do you think I should do? Or, hey, can you take a look at this for me? I mean, I've got people all over campus that are willing to do that, and that was, for as soon as I got here, I met people and made those connections, so that's been the biggest benefit for me.
I stepped one foot on Southern Miss's campus and knew that this was going to be a place that I was very interested in attending, but it was the perfect kind of mix. You have the big name professors, and you have, you know, the research opportunities, and you have all the wonderful opportunities that you have at a really big university, but you have the benefits of a smaller university as well. So my professors know my name, my advisors know my name. It's really been a wonderful place to attend school for sure.
I've met amazing people here that I would not trade anything for. And I have amazing mentors that have helped me grow and change and challenged me. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. Actually, I didn't think much about college when I was in high school. When my senior year came around and it was time to start applying for schools and figure out where I was going, I had no idea what to do.
I had always heard that college was necessary, but could I find a job? I didn't know. And that scared me so much. But the thing is, there's so much opportunity that you don't know about, and college will definitely show you that.
Aside from the things that you learn, like that go towards your major, you're learning how to work in the real world and how to deal with different types of people. And, you can learn that by going straight into the workforce, but the variety of people you'll be around is probably a lot less. I doubt you'll be around international students from this country or this state. College is where it's at.
It just reminds you of how big the world is and just how different everyone's experience is. You can experience the same thing as someone else, but their experience is going to be completely different from yours just because of their background, their culture, ethnicity, and all these things.
I've met amazing people here that I would not trade anything for. And I have amazing mentors that have helped me grow and change and challenged me.
I've been working in Dr. Donaldson's lab. She has been an extreme help. She's helped me to push myself to be the best that I can, and she's helped me to apply to a bunch of different things that I've done. I actually got selected to go to DC last year to advocate for research to Congress. If it hadn't been for her, I would never have pushed myself.
I kind of had in my head this idea that, you come here, you pay some money, you get a piece of paper, and then that helps you get a job. I think professionally, I've definitely been developed farther than I thought that I would in the 4 years that I get to spend here in college. But I think personally also I have grown in so many different ways, and that's certainly much more valuable to me than any piece of paper that I could get from this institution.
I've been challenged to be the best version of myself. And now I know that whatever path I choose to go, whether it be grad school, whether it be in a program of some sort, whether it be a job, I am so capable and I am able to do that because of the challenge.
I don't know about y'all, but that got me all fired up for college. Love seeing your campus, Colin. To the top, right? Isn't that how you say it? To the top?
To the top.
Okay. Now I want to move in our first big topic, admissions. Your universities and colleges all have great websites with admissions pages that are full of information. I really want to encourage these students to take a break from Snapchat and TikTok to go to explore these college websites. And check out gettocollege.org as well. The information is out there. Do your research. Make that investment in yourself. When it comes to admissions, the big things you want to look for are requirements and deadlines. Let's spend some time talking about this. I've got some questions here, and feel free to chime in with your answers, agents. The first question, what are the main things that are going to be considered as part of an admissions application for your schools?
Well, I know for Prover Community College, there's no application fee. So you can simply go through our website at prcc.edu to apply as a new student, and we will send you an email telling you you received your admissions application. In addition to the application, we'll need a high school transcript or a high school equivalency, and then we'll need ACT scores. So those are the three components for us that we require.
And for Southern Miss, you fill out an online application, and it's just 3 easy steps for the application. And then we do require an application fee of $40. And then we would need your high school transcript and your ACT scores. And usually your transcript, a lot of times, will already have your ACT scores on there. But of course, if you want to send them in separately, or if you take the ACT again after you apply and want to submit some updated scores, we will accept those sent in separately as well. And then occasionally, sometimes we may need some supplemental information, but we make sure that we reach out to you and communicate that with you. But those are our three main requirements that we need with our application.
We have a lot of the same requirements. You go online to wmcarey.edu, do that online application. We also have that $40 application fee. Send in your high school transcript. Like Colin said, a lot of times those ACT scores are attached to that high school transcript, but if you keep on taking it, feel free to keep on sending us those scores. We also require immunization records. We just need to see that you've had the measles, mumps, and rubella or MMR immunization. You can either get those from your doctor that you go to or from your local health department. You can email those in, you can bring them in person, you can mail them in, and just get them into our office any way that you can.
Now, I have a few follow-up questions. All of you mentioned ACT scores as well. Is there a minimum ACT score to get into your college?
There is no minimum ACT score for Pearl River Community College.
At Southern Miss, we do have a minimum ACT score, and so we weight it with your GPA. So the minimum score that we will take is a 17 with a 2.5 GPA or higher, or we will accept an 18 with a 2.0 GPA or higher.
And for William Carey, general admission is going to start at a 20 on the ACT and a 2.0 GPA. However, we do have conditional admission that will start at a 16 on the ACT. So if you have any of those scores, we can definitely get you in.
Perfect. Very, very good to know. Also, I noticed that with the four-year universities, you did mention an application fee. Is it possible for a student who is eligible for free or reduced lunch to receive an application fee waiver at your school?
Yeah, so for Southern Miss, we do offer application fee waivers for students if they receive free or reduced lunches at their school. And so what you would do with that situation, you would just have your counselor reach out to me and confirm that you do receive free or reduced lunches, and then we'll make sure that we waive your application fee.
Yeah, and we actually will take the ACT fee waiver. So if you're on that same line and you're getting a fee waiver for the ACT fee, we can use that to waive your application fee.
Very good to know. Very good to know. We want to eliminate some of those barriers, particularly for our low-income students.
Absolutely.
Well, let's say that I'm a junior, graduating class of 2022. When can I start applying to William Carey, USM, and Pearl River?
So for our application, typically what you can kind of keep in your mind is that your application will open up August 1st of your senior year. That's just where the date that our application always opens up for us. And the same thing with scholarships, they always open up on September 1st. And so you would be looking for those things the start of your senior year.
With Pearl River Community College, the application opens September 1st for admissions. Now with housing, our application opens September 15th. So it's usually the middle of September when our housing application opens. Now, last year, we had over a 900-person waiting list to get into our dorms. Everybody loves Pearl River and what they see on campus, and they want to stay in the dorms. However, we are getting 2 new dorms at the Poplarville campus. So that will help alleviate and shorten that waiting list. But that doesn't mean, don't submit things early. Submit your application early.
And that's September 1st of my senior year of high school, correct?
Correct.
Not junior. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing with William Carey. Ours usually will open August of your senior year. So once senior year starts rolling, that's when you can go ahead and apply to William Carey.
Perfect. Okay. Let's focus on just the ACT right now. So a couple of questions. Can you tell us about any minimum score required, or maybe given an idea of the average of this year's freshman class? Mainly, we mentioned the average the minimum to get in. But if we're talking scholarships, what's the minimum to earn a scholarship, an academic scholarship?
So at Pearl River Community College, to get a scholarship, we start out at 18. So if you have an 18 on the ACT, that's $350, but I know that's just $350. However, our tuition is only $1,600 a semester. That right there is already a partial scholarship. But if you get that 21, that's half tuition. Then a 25 is full tuition. A 29 is full tuition, room and board.
And at Southern Miss, our freshman academic excellence scholarships start off with the 3.0 core GPA, and then they start at a 21 ACT and then move up from there. So with a 21 on the ACT, they break them down into different brackets. So with a 21 to a 23, you're eligible for about a quarter off of your tuition, which is at $2,500 per year for 4 years. And then it moves up to $4,500, then it moves up to $5,500, and then it moves up to $6,500. And then if you have a 30 or higher on the ACT, you have the full value of tuition. And so those are all just broken up by your ACT score and if you have 3.0 core GPA or higher.
So for William Carey, the minimum ACT we need for a scholarship is going to be a 20 on the ACT. And that's our opportunity scholarship. Next bracket up is 21 to 23, and that's going to be our academic scholarship. That one's about $4,700 per year. 24-26 ACT is going to get you $5,900 a year. 27 to 28 on the ACT is $6,800. You're 29 or higher, that gets you our William Carey Scholars Award. That's the highest scholarship that we give. That's going to cover 126 hours of tuition over 4 years. So that's essentially your whole degree paid for. And then it also comes with a $1,725 room waiver every year that you live on campus as well.
I noticed, I believe it was Agent Colin that mentioned core GPA. So any one of you can respond to that, but what do we mean when we say core GPA?
For us, basically, that's going off of your college preparatory curriculum credits. So that's your main core classes, looking at your English credits, math credits, and that information to see where we factor in that GPA can be found on our website. And basically that's just, kind of a standard for public institutions. We like to evaluate those core classes there. And so it'd be your core unweighted GPA that we'd look at. We do count some credits for electives. And then, we try to work with students, but we are looking at those core credits, that CPC credits. And so that could be something that you could reach out to your high school counselor to see, what you can do to boost that GPA and make sure that you're going to be meeting those requirements for scholarship purposes.
Gotcha. Your ACT score is being used for 3 main things, and 2 of them have already been mentioned. The first one is admission, so whether or not you get accepted to the school. The second one is scholarships, so whether or not you get money, and that's going to vary depending on the school. The third one, though, is for class placement, which means which classes you're being placed in. So when colleges see your ACT score, they don't just see your overall, which is called your composite score, okay, which is the average of those 4 scores, of those 4 subject areas, but they'll actually see each subject area broken down. So that's English, math, reading, and science. We're all familiar with that 5th writing section, okay? But listen very carefully. No college in Mississippi, public, private, community college, none of them use the writing section. No college in Mississippi uses the writing section. If you want to go out of state, you need to find out whether or not that school you're interested in requires the writing section. Some of them will, the majority of them will not. Moving on though, I think most of our Mission Possible students are juniors, but I know there are probably some sophomores and seniors tuning in. What would you tell a student in each of these years to be doing when it comes to positioning themselves for admissions? Let's say, Kelsey, we have a sophomore who's interested in William Carey. What could they be doing right now to prepare?
My personal opinion, it's never too early to start kind of looking at colleges and universities. Where you want to get your degree is one of the most important decisions that you're ever going to make. And I think you mentioned earlier, do your research, do plenty of research. If you're thinking, I want to go into criminal justice, find the schools that are going to offer criminal justice and then go for a tour of that university or of that community college that has that specific area that you're looking at. Make sure it's a good fit for you, because I can tell you how much I love William Carey. I can tell you how great my experience was. But until you set foot on this campus and you talk to somebody in that criminal justice program, that may not be the best fit for you. So it's never too early to start doing that and start getting that information. On the flip side, if you're a senior and you're like, I think I know what I want to do, but I'm not 100% sure, join the club. It's okay. I was that student. But again, just make sure that you've kind of got an idea. And even if you don't, that's okay too. We have students that come in that are undecided all the time.
So Colin, let's say I'm a freshman and I'm a freshman at, let's just say Oak Grove High School. and I will be the first person in my family to go to college. My parents want me to get an early start in as far as creating that college culture and starting those discussions about going to a university. And my dream school has always been USM. Is it too early for me as a ninth grader to visit the campus or start talking to anyone at the school?
Absolutely not. Kind of like what Kelsey said, it's really never too early to kind of start making your plans when it does come to college. That's a really great time your freshman year to kind of start making contact with your admissions counselor. You could always contact them and just say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I am interested in Southern Miss, and I kind of want to get a better idea of what it means to major in something. That would be a great time for you to learn a little more about the terminology. And then around your sophomore year, that's whenever I definitely encourage you to come on campus tours and utilize it not as just a time to be on campus and tour. That is a resource. Utilize it as a resource for you to get on campus and meet people, put a face to the name, and then be on campus, see it through a different lens. And then as you go through the timeline, your junior year, make sure you're taking the ACT, make sure you're really researching those majors and the different departments and ways that you can have those resources on campus. And then by the time your senior year, you're pretty much decided on what you want to major in, you know where you want to go, you know how to apply. And especially if you're a student that you start that process, you're a Gen 1 student, you want to start asking questions your freshman year, by all means, go ahead. The more you're educated on the process and everything, the smoother it will go. And the next thing you know, your senior year, you're just smooth sailing into college. So that's a great question.
This is all great advice. And there's so much more that we could talk about with admissions, but right now we're going to take a break and take our next virtual tour. Next one up is Pearl River Community College, which became the first junior college in Mississippi in 1921.
Go Wildcats.
Welcome to Pearl River Community College, Mississippi's first and fastest growing two-year institution. PRCC boasts 95% student satisfaction, 42 career technical programs, 4 convenient locations, and has been ranked the #1 community college in the state. To be a student at PRCC is to be a part of the Wildcat family. Let's take a tour of our Poplarville campus and learn all about the Wildcat Way.
This is the PRCC Public Relations Building, where our traditional tours typically start. Here you would meet with our recruiters and our river navigators, and your day of touring will begin.
This is the Ted J. Alexander Administration Building. Inside is the Office of the President, Admissions Office, Financial Aid, Housing Director, and this is where students can come to get their PRCC ID cards, find out about scholarship and FAFSA, and make tuition payments in the business office. Inside Crosby Hall is the Olivia Bender Cafeteria. Meal plans are available for both residential and commuter students. The cafeteria is open from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for breakfast, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. for lunch, and 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. for supper. Crosby Hall also has the bistro, which serves quick food like sandwiches, salads, fries, and more. The Wildcat Den is also inside Crosby Hall and has everything a student needs, including books, laptops, and the latest fashionable Wildcat gear. The Office of Student Success is located on the top floor of Crosby Hall, and students can get advising information, take classes pertaining to college life and study skills to ensure each student is successful while here at Pearl River. There are currently over 800 students residing in campus housing at Pearl River's Poplarville location. Dorm students are given access keys in order to enter their specific dorm buildings, as well as a copy of the PRCC Residence Life Handbook, which is a source of valuable information regarding the student's responsibilities, obligations, and privileges while residing in student housing.
Here we have the Carol Williams Station, which houses the Market, which is a free food pantry for students, as well as the Wildcat Clothes Closet, where students can come and get business attire for job interviews and class presentations.
Here is the Garvin H. Johnson Library. Here, students are given a quiet place to work and study, as well as an environment to take proctored exams for online classes. Library hours during fall and spring semesters are Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. until 9 p.m., and Fridays, 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Summer hours are Monday through Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. until 6:30 p.m., and Thursday, 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Seal Hall is where PRCC strives to give our students the best educational experience possible. With a 19-to-1 class size ratio, students taking classes at Seal Hall are sure to get their hands-on learning experience they're looking for. And instructors' doors are always open for students to seek them out for assistance. White Hall houses the William H. Lewis Honors Institute. There are 2 ways for students to be accepted into the Honors Institute. For students straight out of high school, you must achieve a score of 25 or higher on the ACT. And college students must have a 3.5 or higher GPA in the first semester. Classes are also located on the bottom floor, including computer concepts and microeconomics. This is the Math and Science building, which as you can see is getting a major addition. Soon this building will boast brand new state-of-the-art science labs and equipment. Pearl River Math and Science students are always working hard to achieve their dreams. Come and see what new adventures are here for you to explore. Here's the Jefferson Davis building, which houses TRIO, which is the Student Support Services. Here you'll find students being able to get peer-to-peer tutoring to help them succeed in their endeavors here at Pearl River. This is Moody Hall, where several of our classes within the Fine Arts and Communication department is located. Such classes include music appreciation, visual arts, speech, and theater. Artists from around the local area have been put on display here at Moody Hall. Students are also able to show off their unique skills and display their works of art. Each student who participates in the instrumental, vocal, and drama programs at Pearl River is eligible for a service scholarship. Shivers Gym is where Mississippi's first junior college volleyball program practices and plays. The Wildcats cheer team also practices at Shivers, and the film and video technology courses are taught here as well. Here we are at the Ethel Holden Brownstone Center for the Arts, where dozens of performances are put on every semester for students, staff, and everyone of Pearl River to enjoy. The Brownstone Center brings quality arts events to the premier performance venue in South Mississippi. The $10.5 million venue is dedicated to providing world-class performers from around the country to Poplarville, as well as offering opportunities for on-campus groups and community groups to take advantage of the venue. Gracing the stage of the facility each season spotlights a variety of acts from around the country, and students often take center stage to show off their talents. This is the PRCC Technology Center. Here you can take classes in instrumentation, drafting and design, management and marketing, medical building and coding, and much, much more. Pearl River offers 42 career and technical programs, from welding and cutting to cosmetology, linemen to film and video technology. Check out the PRCC YouTube page CTE playlist for more and a tour of all these programs. Here's the Nursing Building and Wellness Center. PRCC's nursing program is ranked among the top in the state. Pearl River's nursing program is a very competitive program to get into. Many of the nursing school graduates go on to work at local hospitals and clinics throughout the regional area. The PRCC Wellness Center offers a 1,500 square foot facility. The center is equipped with an elevated walking running track, aerobic exercise room, spin room, women's and men's locker rooms, and a large workout area with Life Fitness cardio equipment and Life Fitness hammer strength equipment. The Verlene Norton Cole Alumni House is where the offices of the PRCC Alumni Association and Development Foundation are located. Through the foundation, students apply and could be granted scholarships which are made available through the gifts of individuals, corporations, and organizations. Students can apply for foundation scholarships through River Guide. This is the Marvin R. White Coliseum, where our Wildcats men's and women's basketball teams have played and defeated some of the toughest teams in our division. The 35,400 square foot facility includes more than 2,800 seats and houses coaches' offices, locker rooms, workout facilities, laundries, and storage. Dub Herring Park has undergone major renovations in recent years. Pearl River installed a new field, turf infield, foul territory, and bullpen. PRCC also constructed a new press box that includes 2 luxurious suites, media area, and broadcast booth. As part of the first wave of expansion, Pearl River installed 200 spacious chairback seats behind home plate. Dobie Hold'em Stadium has undergone major renovations recently. Upgrades include a state-of-the-art video board and new turf prior to the 2019 season. The football field houses every sports fanatic dream. It includes a team meeting room, locker room, weight room, and coaches' offices. Pearl River Community College is more than just a school. It's a family. A family which embodies our motto, the Wildcat Way: pride, respect, class, and character. Come join our family. Wildcats never quit.
That's some great stuff happening over at PRCC, Chelsea. All roads really could lead through PRCC. Okay, Mission Possible agents, the next topic I want us to dive into for these students is financial aid. So tuitions, scholarships, Pell Grants, FAFSA, student loans. College in itself is an investment. Let's help get these wheels turning on how you can get the most bang for your buck. When it's all said and done, there are a few things students have to consider paying for when it comes to college. Okay, just give me one off the top of your head, Kelsey. One thing students have to pay for in college.
One of the things that a lot of students don't think about is books. That's one thing that you never pay for.
Perfect. So let's say we're talking about one freshman biology book about that thick that can easily be about $250 to $300, depending on, the class. All right. It's one book for one class. We're using it for about one semester or one trimester. Okay. So we need to just factor that in, the cost of books. All right. Another thing, Chelsea, anything that students have to pay for.
Registration fee. There's
registration fees.
A lot of different, once you sign up, there's a lot of different fees that you may not be aware of when you sign up for classes.
Very good. Very good idea to think about those fees. All right. Colin?
Parking passes.
Parking decals. Absolutely. If you want to park on campus, your car must be registered. And that's for safety purposes, just to make sure that everyone who's on campus is supposed to be on campus. A lot of schools most schools require you to have a parking decal on your car. Absolutely. So there are three different terms that we need to be familiar with when we're speaking about the cost of college. The first one is tuition. Okay. Tuition pays for your classes, pays for you to be a student at that school. All right. The second term is direct cost. This is the money that's being paid directly to the school. Tuition, room, meal plan. Okay. That's the second chunk of money, all right? But then the third, which is the biggest cost, or maybe the sticker price, is called your cost of attendance. Cost of attendance, okay? So that's gonna factor in my book, an estimate for my books that I'm gonna have to pay for, my parking decal, the miscellaneous fees, the personal expenses I may use, the travel expenses that I need to get gas, I have to pay for oil changes, I need to factor in all these potential costs and at least get a general idea of how much everything at that school is going to cost. Now, Chelsea, how could I find that out? And not just your school, but any school.
Right. So there is a net price calculator, and it should be found on most, if not all, college or universities' websites. So basically, you can just go to their webpage. The student can enter the information, and then at that point, it'll come up with the price after taking in consideration of the scholarships and grants.
And that is a great way that even when we mention the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, if they wanted to get a general idea how much this school is going to cost, so I'll know what I need to plan for as far as scholarships, I don't have to wait until senior year to use that net price calculator. I don't have to be accepted. I can just go to the school's website and use that resource. It's very, very good to know. So, Colin, these students will have to pay for all of this: credit hours, books, meal plan, dorm rooms, student fees, etc. And most of them are going to cover these with grants, scholarships, or loans, or a combination of those three. Do you want to take a swing at explaining the difference between these different types of financial support?
Yeah, sure. So like you said, there's kind of different variations of ways that you can offset that out-of-pocket payment amount. So we'll start off with explaining scholarships. So scholarships are typically affiliated with the university. So That can be in the form of an alumni foundation scholarship, things like what I mentioned with Southern Miss, we have what's called the GO system. Then that's academic scholarships, things like that, that can kind of help offset those costs. So those are going to be kind of like a gift given to you. So scholarships, you don't have to pay those back. Those are just based off of typically academic merit, or based off of you filling out a competitive application. You're put in a pool with other people where they pick out scholarships that way. Then there's financial aid. So those two things are kind of separate. They both work, the same way to help you get money to pay for college, but scholarships are a little bit different than financial aid. So financial aid, there's technically two different types of financial aid, one being gift aid. So that is typically what you see with grants. So with the FAFSA, you may hear people talk about Pell Grant, or with state aid, you may hear people talk about Mississippi Tuition Assistance Grant, which is abbreviated as MTAG, or Mississippi Eminent Scholars Grants, things like that. Grant, you can think of gift aid. So you do not have to pay a grant back. But on the flip side of that, there's also loans. So when you fill out the FAFSA or things like that, you'll see what loans you qualify for helping pay for college, and loans is self-help aid. So that's something that you will have to pay back since it is a loan. But that's just kind of a little bit diving into kind of a brief summary of the difference of ways to pay for college versus, or looking at scholarships versus financial aid.
Now, it's funny because when we mention grants and loans, it's important to know that the Pell Grant, which you mentioned, or for student loans, students and their families have to complete something called the FAFSA, and that stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This is only available starting your senior year of high school. Truthfully, starting October 1st of your senior year of high school, and not a moment before. Okay, but like I said, that's the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And it is used to determine your eligibility for a couple of different programs and a couple of different types of some of that gift aid or student loans. But the FAFSA is also used, many students don't know this, for consideration for something called work study, where you can have a job on campus. In order for you to be able to, that is a federal program, in order for you to be able to take advantage of that, you have to have indicated on the FAFSA that you're interested in being considered for work study. Because once again, it is a federal program. But that FAFSA is based on your household size and family income. Doesn't matter how high your ACT score is, as long as you're passing, as long as you have at least a 2.0, then you're still gonna be eligible to complete that and receive some of that aid, okay? Now we have a lot of, this is one of our specialties at Get to College, because we assist students and families, and even some of the other agents on here assist students and families with completing the FAFSA to determine your eligibility for that aid, okay? Some basics just to know about it. Once again, it opens October 1st. As of today, if a student, based on their household size and family income, does qualify for a full Pell Grant, as of today, that full Pell Grant is $6,345. That is money, like we said, you do not have to pay back. You can receive that every year. We just have to renew your FAFSA every year, okay? Also, as a freshman, if you are a dependent student, okay, which means that you are not 24 years of age or older, you are not married, you are not a veteran, you are not in a legal guardianship, you are not an emancipated minor, you have not been in foster care since the age of 13. There are very strict criteria that will make you what's called an independent student, where you don't have to use parent information. But if you're still dependent, like I said, it'll be based on the parents that you live with. If my mom and dad are divorced and I live with mom and dad is a billionaire, they don't care. It's only based on the parent that I live with, okay? And every dependent freshman will initially be eligible for $5,500 in what's called direct Stafford loans. They have to, by law, offer you this money. That's what you're offered as a dependent student. You do not have to accept the loans, but they do have to offer it to you. But then once again, work study is another program where you can receive some more aid for having a job on campus. But you still have to check that on the FAFSA that you're interested and communicate with the financial aid office to make sure that you are able to be awarded that work study. Now we have in Mississippi many students who are who are possibly immigrants and have undocumented parents. Even though that student may be an eligible non-citizen, you have a green card, or you may be a full-fledged U.S. citizen with parents who are undocumented, it is still possible for you to complete the FAFSA. Okay, and so without getting you too confused, we can help you when it gets to that point to complete the FAFSA, to let you know exactly what you would need to type in, but just know that you are still eligible, even if your parents are not citizens, okay? As long as you are either a full-fledged citizen or an eligible non-citizen, meaning that you have a green card, you're still eligible to do that, okay? Next thing I wanna know though is, where's the best place for students to start when it comes to finding scholarships at your schools? If I'm confused or I'm lost in the weeds about this, and I wanna know how I can take advantage of some of this financial aid, where can I go on your college campuses to find out about it?
I can go first. So at Southern Miss, definitely if at any point, whenever, especially in your senior year, you're applied, you're admitted to Southern Miss, you're applying for scholarships, if you ever have any questions, contact me and I'd be happy to help kind of direct you to where to go. But when it comes to finding the actual scholarships, figuring out where to apply for them, the best thing is utilizing the GO system as a resource, because that is where, we have over 850 different scholarships within that system. And so within our Office of Undergraduate Scholarships on that webpage, it also has, a wealth of knowledge and resources available for the students, and then also resources available for the parents to see, how to navigate the payment process of, or not necessarily the payment process, but how to navigate figuring out how much you're going to have to pay, and looking at your bottom line. So we talked a little bit about that net calculator to see those costs and things. So our undergraduate scholarships website has a lot of resources where you can see where you can get those financial aid resources, where you can apply for scholarships in the GO system, talk about how you can factor in what those costs do, and looking at your scholarships, how it's going to play out and things like that. So your best resources would be contacting me if you have any questions, and then B, looking at scholarships in the GO system and filling out that general application so you can really see what's available out there for you. And then C, also looking at our Office of Undergraduate Scholarships webpage, because there is a lot of resources on that page for both students and parents.
And I know with Pearl River Community College, one of our big selling points is reduced tuition. So we're not as expensive as other universities. With that said, the scholarships that we offer go a long ways. So you can simply go to our website at prcc.edu, and in the search bar, you can just search scholarships on our page, and then you will see the scholarships that we offer. We can also stack scholarships, meaning that you could receive more than one scholarship at a time. So we have students who basically get paid to come to Pearl River Community College because they're involved in so much, or they have a decent ACT score, along with possibly a foundation scholarship. And our cost of tuition is so affordable that if they also qualify for state aid or Pell Grant, well, guess what? That's money back into their pockets.
Now, what's funny, we mentioned, and two of you mentioned something. You mentioned some aid coming from the state of Mississippi. So the FAFSA is used to determine students' eligibility for federal aid. But then there's also a Mississippi aid application, which is strictly for Mississippi students who stay in state for college. And it comes in a few different programs. There's one that Colin mentioned called MTAG, or the Mississippi Tuition Assistance Grant. So some students think if I don't have a super high ACT score, that means I won't qualify for any aid. Or if my parents make too much money, I won't qualify for any aid. Well, that one we mentioned called MTAG, or Mississippi Tuition Assistance Grant, all you need is a 15 on the ACT and the 2.5 GPA. And as long as you have that, you are eligible for MTAG, which pays $500 per year for your freshman and sophomore year, and then $1,000 per year for your junior and senior year. You only need a 15 on the ACT and a 2.5 GPA. Now there's one that's a lot more competitive called MESG, Mississippi Eminent Scholars Grant, where you would need a 29 on the ACT and a 3.5 GPA. And that will pay $2,500 every year for 4 years, as long as you maintain that GPA. But then the best one, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, you definitely want to write this down. There's one called the HELP grant, H-E-L-P. And the HELP grant is that third grant from the state of Mississippi, as long as you score at least a 20 on the ACT. And by the way, in case you didn't know, now the HELP grant will be utilizing your ACT super score. So as long as you have at least a 20 on the ACT, you have at least a 2.5 GPA in that core college prep curriculum. You've taken all the classes you're supposed to take in high school, so you meet all the curriculum requirements. And your parents make below a certain income. So this is the only one with an income requirement. And I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. The HELP grant will pay your full tuition and fees all 4 years to any public school in the state of Mississippi. Full tuition and fees all 4 years to any public school in the state of Mississippi. So if you wanted to go to Mississippi College, since it's a private school, it'll pay up to the tuition of the closest public. Now, I'm glad that we talked about these, and I want to make a quick detour here because we talked about ACT scholarships and we talked about need-based scholarships from the FAFSA and grants and loans and everything. But there's another one that I definitely want to talk about since we're talking about aid. Let's say that I don't have a great ACT score and I maybe have a 16 on the ACT. And I decide to start at Pearl River Community College. But I'm a really, really good student. I'm just not a great test taker. So I start at Pearl River and I have a perfect 4.0. Or even if I don't have a perfect 4.0, I have a 3.5 GPA at Pearl River. I would be invited to join an honor society. Chelsea, do you want to take it away from here?
Absolutely. So I don't think I said this, but I actually am a former Wildcat. So I started my college career as a Wildcat and of course went on to the university level, but I was in Phi Theta Kappa. So that is an honor society where you can get transfer scholarship money. I'm really glad you brought that up. So all you have to have is a 3.4 your first semester, or if you don't have it your first semester, you have until your last semester before you graduate to get that 3.4. So once you get that 3.4, then you'll pay, I think, $60 or $70 to be a lifetime member. And that's very well worth it because that small fee that you have to pay is going to give you a few $1,000s possibly to go to university. So all you have to do is become a member and that's it. When you get ready to transfer, your Phi Theta Kappa advisor at, say, Pearl River Community College will sign off on that, and then you'll go straight to the university, and then you'll have that money immediately. So yes, coming to a community college like Pearl River will certainly reward you, get you in Phi Theta Kappa. When I was in Phi Theta Kappa, I was a secretary, so that's something that you can even add to your resume as a leadership organization and being involved in a leadership role. So I think that's a great thing and that it will help you to get to the next level. So yes, we will reward you for making that good grade and that good GPA.
So as a transfer student coming to USM receiving that scholarship, I would actually get $4,500 at USM being a transfer student and a Phi Theta Kappa member. Right. At Mississippi State, you would receive $6,000 per year. At Ole Miss, you would get $8,000 per year. Delta State, I mean, they're still reworking their scholarships, but as of right now, it's on a limited basis, but you could get full tuition at Delta State. But if you're going to Jackson State, Alcorn, or Tougaloo College, you would actually receive full tuition, your room, your meal plan, and they give you $1,000 per year for books. Even private universities, I don't know, Kelsey, if you know it off the top of your head, the PTK scholarship at William Carey?
I do. So we do have a good many PTK students that come here. So our Phi Theta Kappa students will receive $6,300 every year that they're here on campus. If you're an officer, vice president, or president of your chapter, there's some extra money that we can give you for that as well.
Perfect. So you have great opportunities. So imagine a student receiving a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship and also the HELP grant, because you can still get that as well.
Absolutely.
And a Pell Grant, and you do work study, and you apply for some of the other great leadership scholarships at these universities. A student could very well get everything paid for to go to a university, and it can make college affordable for some of our, the students that need it the most. So look, this was great information. And students, I really hope you're taking notes. These field agents are giving out some excellent tips, and there's so much to learn. I would encourage you to visit Get to College website, where we have free workshops on financial aid, the ACT, and more. Okay, it's time for another break and the last of our virtual tours. William Carey University, the oldest college in South Mississippi, and the first college in Mississippi to voluntarily enroll Black students. That's quite a legacy.
It is.
Hello, my name is Bailey, and I'm excited to get to show you around our campus today. Behind me is Tatum Court, our central hub of campus. In it houses our president's office, financial aid office, registrar's office, as well as our business office. Also, our admissions tour office. Welcome to William Carey University. Behind me is our Donna Del Wheeler Alumni House. In it holds our admissions office as well as our alumni office. Applying to William Carey is easy. Just go to wmcarey.edu to apply. Hi, Alana.
William Carey is home to 17 NAIA athletic teams. We have soccer, basketball, and baseball as a couple of campus favorites. We've also added beach volleyball and archery. Coming to a game is a great way to unwind after class or a long day of studying. Hey, where are you at?
Hey, I'm at Thomas Fine Arts. You should come over. Here we are at Thomas Fine Arts, home of the All Steinway Winter School of Music. Here students gather together for chapel, the Carey Rock Crusader events, musicals, and graduation ceremonies. While visiting this building, you may hear one of our many musical ensembles practicing for the next performance.
Across from Thomas Fine Arts, you can find our library, where students are free to use a variety of available resources to work on their next assignment. If you have a particularly big assignment coming up, you and your study group can use one of our study rooms in order to feel prepared for the test. Here at William Carey, we have 45 programs and majors to choose from. There's something for everyone. Thinking about business or marketing? You'll find your classes in the beautiful School of Business building. As an education major, the School of Education building is one of my favorite buildings on campus. Asbury Academic Building is home to the Noonkester School of Arts and Letters. Here you'll find classes in history, English, foreign languages, and art. Our Joe and Virginia Tatum Theater is home to our theater and mass communication degrees. You can also enjoy Carey Dinner Theater each summer in our Black Box Theater. In Lawrence Hall, you will also be able to find the Cooper School of Missions and Ministry Studies. Regardless of which major you choose, almost every student will spend time in green science. It houses our chemistry, biology, psychology, and math departments.
Some of our fastest growing programs on campus have been those related to the medical field. The College of Osteopathic Medicine, our medical school on campus, was recently ranked number 3 in the nation. One of our newer medical opportunities is the School of Physical Therapy. Bell School of Nursing offers degrees in nursing, health information management, and health administration and education. As a nursing major, I can't wait to use what I've learned to be able to impact the lives of others.
This is Common Grounds, our campus coffee shop. Students come here to have a cup of coffee while they hang out or study. Some of our organizations also meet here on campus.
We have over 40 organizations here on campus. Personally, I'm part of our honors program, ambassador program, and our sororities. Organizations are a great way to get involved on campus and make friends.
The VSU is one of the most active organizations on campus. They have multiple events each week. They also have many opportunities for missions.
You'll find our BSU in our new Student Center. It'll house our Residence Life Office, Student Services, and IT department. You can also find our in-campus grill and Student Recreation Center here.
Here we have one of the most important buildings on campus, Wilkes Dining Hall, the cafeteria. Here students have a variety of options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And over here we have McMillan Hall, home to our campus post office and Barnes & Noble bookstore. Here's a great place to order your textbooks online, grab a snack between classes, purchase your own Carey merch.
Our campus features 2 art museums and the Carey Center, which is housed in Donnell Hall. Students can also enjoy recitals and other services in Bass Chapel. If you need a quiet place outside to study or relax, many students enjoy spending time in the Chain Garden.
Staying in the dorms is a great way to be involved on campus. Luckily, we have spots for everyone. Our most budget-friendly option is our community-style dorms, available in Bass, Holt, and Bryant. Our most popular style dorms can be found in Bird and Braswell and Ross and Johnson. The amenities included in suite style are elevators, lounges, as well as laundry rooms, microwaves, and refrigerators. Our most private dorms, Davis Futural, offer the same amenities as suite style, but in a more private setting. We hope you're excited to join in on all the festivities.
I mean, Carey is really growing and has so much going on. I need to get down there and visit you guys, Kelsey.
Come on down.
For our last big topics of today's discussions, I want to talk about student life and academics. We've covered how you get to college, how you might pay for it, so I want to spend some time helping you think through what you need to consider when it comes to choosing your college, and how do you want your life to look as a student and beyond. College is an incredible experience and season of your life to be challenged, learn about yourself, form new friendships, and explore. But ultimately, whether you're going to junior college or four-year university, or even have graduate school in mind already, you need to be considering how your college experience connects to your own career readiness. After all, that's what it's all about. It's an investment in yourself and in your future and what will lead you to a career path that is rewarding and provides for you and your family. What do you want your adult professional life to look like? And it's okay if you're not 100% sure today what you want to be when you grow up, because there are ways to explore on the front and back end of college admissions, but it's the biggest thing you ought to be considering. So let's talk about academics. Could each of you give the students a general idea of the variety of programs or studies you offer, and maybe highlight a few of the most important or unique ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So William Carey is actually one of only 2 schools in the state of Mississippi that are accredited to do a degree called music therapy. It combines music like guitar and vocal with psychology and a little bit of physical therapy as well. We also have the state's only College of Osteopathic Medicine, which is recently ranked number 3 in the country this year for primary care physicians. Most popular programs at Carey are going to be nursing, education, music, business, biology. We also have a really great history program, English, criminal justice, psychology, and also a really great theater program as well.
I can definitely say that Southern Miss has a lot of different varieties of different majors and academic degree programs that you can go into. So you're definitely bound to find something that really speaks to you. We have over 120 different degree programs, but within those programs, I would definitely say that some of our more popular ones would be our College of Nursing and Health Professions. Within that, you have your nursing school, which has a lot of different opportunities within that realm for you to really get involved and invested in some of those clinical professions. We also have within our College of Education, elementary education is a very popular program here at Southern Miss, where people get to go in and get hands-on experience working in the classroom before they even actually go into the actual classroom with students. Really try to prepare people going into education, because we were founded as an education college, and that's something that we really are proud of our roots in, that to really facilitate putting out some of the best teachers out in the state. So we also have wonderful programs in our College of Business and Economic Development, which has grown tremendously over the last several years, and really offer a lot of opportunities for students to get involved and invested in what they're studying while they're here at Southern Miss, to prepare them for success, not only while they are at Southern Miss, but also whenever they go out into the business sector.
And at Pearl River Community College, as I mentioned earlier, we offer the associate degree pathway, the associate in arts, and we also offer the associates in applied science. So there's two different pathways. Now with the associate in arts degree, that is obtaining a 2-year academic degree that would prepare you to transfer to another institution, say William Carey or USM, to get your bachelor's degree. We also offer the career technical side. Now we are very well known for nursing, LPN, the associate degree nursing program. We offer 9 allied health programs, including dental assisting, dental hygiene, radiology, respiratory, occupational, physical therapy. Believe it or not, there are some students in these programs that I just listed that actually have a bachelor's degree. And they realize, well, I want to go into a 2-year program because I can make this amount of money coming out of an allied health program. So we do have very high achieving students that are in these 2-year degree programs. They come out making a lot of money. Of course, we have welding, we have HVAC, we have electronics, graphic and design, utility linemen, the list goes on and on. But basically, we still offer the full academics so that if you know you are destined to go to a university, you can certainly do that. You can get your first 2 years completed at Pearl River Community College at a fraction of the price, then transfer all of those credits to an institution such as William Carey or Southern Miss.
Awesome. That's awesome. So, okay, I'm going to kind of just pick on one of the agents to answer some of these questions. Kelsey, what advice would you give a student who is considering a few different majors, or maybe knows the field they're interested in, but isn't quite sure how to find the right college for it? What advice would you give them?
So from my personal experience, I knew I wanted to do something with chemistry, or maybe even major in chemistry whenever I was starting my college search. So I've searched for universities in the state of Mississippi and also around the area that had my major. And that way I was able to reach out to the admissions counselor from my area and say, hey, this is what I'm interested in. This is kind of the direction I'm thinking of going. What do your programs look like? So that to me is the best way to start that search, is if you know what you want to major in, reach out to the admissions counselor for your area and tell them this is the area or direction I want to go. How do I get started with that? And they can help you out with that.
For any school?
For any school, absolutely.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So one thing that students forget about is class size. And I want to know from each of you, what is the average class size for a freshman level course? Of course, we know that as you get into your major classes, you know, in later years, the class sizes seem to shrink as your curriculum becomes more specialized. But for a general freshman class, what's the average class size for, let's say, college algebra?
So for us, our classes are going to cap out at 40 students. So no academic class at William Carey is going to get any bigger than 40 students. For an average size, they're about 20 to 25 or so. Once you get up to those junior, senior level classes, it can get down to about 10 to 15. I had a class in my senior year. It was me, the professor, and then 2 other students.
I would say for Southern Miss, our average class size, just as a whole, would be about 22 students. And so, like Stephen and Kelsey said, you know, if you're getting further into your major, your classes are going to look a lot smaller. And so for maybe like college algebra, it might be a little bit bigger than 22, just because there's more students that are coming in taking that course. But average, about 22 students in a classroom.
I know at Pearl River Community College, for any academic class that you're in, the student-teacher ratio is 20 students to 1 instructor. So the instructor knows your name. They care about you. They're there to assist you. But yes, that is one thing that sold me going to Pearl River Community College, is the class size and being able to have that personal instruction.
So I'm going to come back to you, Chelsea, actually. I want to know, okay, we know maintaining a strong GPA is important for keeping grants and scholarships. What academic support services do you guys have in place for students that might need a little bit of extra tutoring?
Certainly. We do have the Student Success Center. That's at the Hattiesburg campus as well as the Poplarville campus. That's student-led. All of the resources are free, so students can get tutoring for free. They can go use a student lab and complete work on a computer. They can simply just go there and meet with different students if they have a group project to complete. So all the services in there are free. Like I said, they can get tutored or they can become a tutor and have a job there and get paid.
Now, Colin, I want to ask you about something that I never actually got the opportunity to take advantage of in college. And one thing that students overlook is learning outside of the classroom. So does your school offer any study abroad or internship or job placement programs?
Yeah, so we actually offer, we have study abroad opportunities in over 20 different countries. I actually had the opportunity during my sophomore year of college to go study abroad in Spain. And so it's just one of those things that it really is cool to get that experience that just pushes you outside of your comfort zone, and it really helps you see the world through a different lens. We offer different study abroad opportunities, whether you want to go with a group of people, maybe you want to go with your class and kind of have the comfort of going with people that you know. You can also go on an exchange by yourself if you're confident in doing that. Definitely a lot of opportunities there. And then a lot of times majors or different groups, like within the College of Business, for example, they have 3 different study abroad opportunities where you can do, the British Studies program, you can go do the Italian Studies program or the Asian Studies program, and it emphasizes on different particular subjects within that major. But then, of course, with internships, things like that, if you're not quite ready to go, across the pond and going overseas or anything like that, and you just want to get some business experience, or you want to get some internship or shadow someone or something like that, you have a lot of opportunities for that as well. We have what's called career services, where if you did want to get in touch with some contacts to try to maybe see if you can get an internship or something of that nature, we do have a lot of opportunities for that within career services, specifically within the Pathways program, which works with internships. But then, of course, you also have a lot of opportunities to get to know some of your professors and maybe see if they have any suggestions for internships or job shadow opportunities if you did want to get involved in that and kind of, network with your professor with that as well.
I love it. So now let's actually move on to the really fun part, student life, student organizations, athletics, dorms, meal plans, student government activities, etc. So I think I'm actually going to come back to Colin. How do students learn about organizations or clubs that they can join? Is this a big part of campus life?
Right. So the student life at Southern Miss really is, it really makes your experience feel like you're in college. So if you're wanting to learn more about the different organizations you can be involved in, a lot of times during Golden Eagle Welcome Week, which is actually the first week that our incoming freshman students are on campus, a lot of times they'll have involvement fairs. For this past year, we offered virtual involvement fairs. And so you have a lot of opportunities to kind of hear about some of the different organizations, but really the best way for you to stay plugged in is just by listening to what your friends are getting involved in. And if you get involved in a group, a lot of times it does it's almost like a domino effect where you'll hear more about different organizations. But we also have the Office of Student Leadership and Involvement, where you can go in and basically, if you don't really know what all is out there at Southern Miss, you don't really know exactly what you want to get involved in, you can always meet with someone within that office and they'll kind of help you figure out where you can find your fit. But also if you, for some reason, don't find your fit within that group of 200 different student organizations, you're always welcome to start your own organization as long as you meet the requirements that's needed to begin that process. But there's a lot of different opportunities, and I definitely encourage, regardless of wherever you go, to get involved and get plugged in on campus because it does enhance your experience.
Very good advice. Definitely, absolutely want to get involved. You learn so much about yourself outside of the classroom from being involved in different activities. So that's very, very good advice. Kelsey, can you speak a little bit about the different categories of student organizations, whether there's academic organizations, athletics, intramurals, interest-specific clubs, student government, etc.?
Absolutely. So William Carey has a lot of different opportunities to get involved, starting with those academics. We do have a lot of clubs that are catered towards your major area. So we have like a pre-SOMA club, which is for our pre-med students. We have one that is catered towards our math students and chemistry students. We also have a lot of honor societies that are within the different majors as well. One of them is Delta Omicron, which is for our students who are maybe majoring in music. That's one of our honor societies that we have here. We do also have 2 sororities that are on campus. We have Gamma Chi and Pi Omega. Lots of different intramural sports. So maybe even if you're an athlete in high school and you're like, you know, I really like playing soccer on my team here in high school, but I don't know if I necessarily want to do that while I'm in college, maybe getting my nursing degree. Well, that's fantastic. You can do intramurals. That way you can still play and get outside and get that exercise in, but you don't have to worry about those 6 a.m. workouts that our student athletes have to get involved with. We also have really great student government association here on campus. Our Baptist Student Union is also one of our biggest organizations on campus since we're affiliated with the Southern Baptist Convention. But we also have like our Diamond Girls that is involved with our baseball team. There's a lot of different ways to get involved here on campus, even though we are smaller.
When it comes to the freshman experience, okay, I know all of your schools work hard to help students get oriented and set up for success. Kelsey, what is something you think freshmen should be looking for in a good orientation process? Just not even necessarily just for William Carey, but in general.
Yeah, so one of the things that we like to do at William Carey and for other schools as well is to get plugged in and get connected to your fellow freshmen or your fellow transfer students, because you're going to be starting this journey together. So you already know, hey, I met this person at orientation. Oh, they're in my biology class. So you already kind of have that connection. You already have that friend. And so you can meet up after class and go, hey, I understood X, Y, and Z, but when we got to this part, I didn't necessarily understand it. And because you've already made that connection, that person can go, oh, well, I totally understood that. And you can go ahead and start working that out together. So you're not just kind of wandering alone and going, I have no idea what's going on. You've already made those connections, and a lot of times with orientation, you learn about the organizations that are on campus. So you hear one that you're like, oh, I think I could really do that. That sounds like something I would love to get involved with. So you already know what it is. You know the contact person. You can go ahead and get plugged in. So that's definitely one thing that I would look for. And then, a lot of times with orientation, with us, you get to meet new faculty, the faculty members. They may be within your major group. They may be outside of your major group. And so you already get that connection with them as well.
That's also really good advice, because what I think happens on college campuses for incoming freshmen is you get there and you're lost, and you have this anxiety because you think that I'm the only person who doesn't know what's going on. But there's a 95% chance that there's someone that is in the exact same shoes who's just as lost as you are. And once you can find each other, you can help each other find your way. And there are plenty of not only faculty members and administrators from the school, but also upperclassmen and fellow students who want to help guide you and tell you about the school that they love, that they've been living at already. So it's great to utilize those resources and know that you are not alone in your nervousness and fear. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'll give you 30 seconds, 30 seconds apiece. I just want to know, and you don't have to get really, really deep into it, but what is one fun tradition at your school that students just love? Don't wait. Don't answer just yet. Just think about it. When you have one in mind, one fun tradition at your school that your students absolutely love. Whoever's ready can start.
Okay. So for us, it's actually perfect because it's kind of going into the orientation question, but a part of the orientation process at Southern Miss includes Golden Eagle Welcome Week. So for Golden Eagle Welcome Week, that's during your first week on campus. And so it's really cool because one of the traditions that they do is they have the incoming freshmen paint the Eagle Walk. And so for anybody that's come to a Southern Miss football game, you've seen the Eagle Walk, you've seen where it's the golden part underneath the stadium where the whole road is paved gold. And so basically our incoming freshmen, they have an opportunity to kind of make their mark on that year and be able to paint that part of the Eagle Walk. And it's just fun. They really have a lot of fun with it. They'll paint their hands gold and then they'll put it on the concrete walls. And it's just very cool to kind of see them really dive into that and really just kind of go into that tradition year by year. And even, this year that there's been a lot of changes going on, that's still one thing that we were able to still be able to do. And as a current faculty or a current staff member and then a former student, being able to see that kind of get carried through is just a really special tradition.
Eagle walk.
I think for us, Carry Wow, of course, is our orientation and welcome weekend that we do every year. We even were able to do it this year. It looked a little different because it was virtual, but we were still able to do that. But one that even our alumni love is we have homecoming in the spring with baseball season since we don't have a football team. And with homecoming, we actually do a crawfish boil for our students, and they absolutely love that. The alumni come and they go to the crawfish boil, which is at the baseball game. So you have all these tables just lined with plastic, and these people are bringing in their huge trays of crawfish and just absolutely going to town on it. And they absolutely love homecoming weekend.
Okay, homecoming and Carrie.
We also do a welcome week, and we had it as a face-to-face type, but it looked a little different because most of our students are online at this point. But in the past, we've had them put handprints of gold and maroon and write their expected graduation date. So it's kind of like, here, I am signing, I am pledging that I will be graduating this month and this year, because 9 times out of 10, or most situations, if you sign your name to something, you're more than likely to attain that. So we like students saying, okay, I pledge to graduate May of 2022, something like that. And it's just a way to let students, just give them some hope and let them see, okay, this is my goal and I know I can attain this, while at the same time having kind of like a welcome meet and greet and able to just get to know all their peers and instructors. The instructors are out there as well. So it's kind of like a Wildcat welcome week, I guess you would say. It looked completely different this year, but we always have that. No matter what the situation may be, we will always accommodate students and still have an event, even if it might be virtual or if it might be kind of altered a little bit.
Welcome week, orientation, all of that. Those are very, very fond memories in my mind of my college experience. So absolutely, that's, even if you're not a freshman, that's one of the funnest times of the year, because you can go and crash all the freshman stuff and get free food and pizza that they have left over. So, I mean, just being honest. So in addition to the academic life and social organizations, a big part of the college experience is also student services that are there to help you. That's an important part of that life on campus. And students need to know about what they can offer as far as the Student Success Center, like was mentioned, or academic coaching, even mental health support, workout facilities, study rooms, and campus dining. The experience is really being curated to make your life as awesome as possible so that you can focus on your studies and not have any kind of barriers in other aspects of your life. So it's great that colleges have taken that kind of care and attention to making sure that the full experience outside of the classroom is worthwhile and efficient for every student. So what if a student is really excited about one of your schools or just college in general after completing Mission Possible? How early, in terms of grade level, should students begin making campus visits and communicating with the campus recruiter? I believe that, I think Colin already kind of talked about it. We may have even all spoken about it, but how early would you say you would recommend students doing so? Chelsea.
Really, as early as possible, we welcome students and we will give them a tour, whether they're a freshman, sophomore, senior, or even a junior. So we like to get them as early as possible and just show them and tell them, hey, if you continue to take the ACT, we will give you this amount of money and that sort of thing. So really, I see a lot of juniors that come for visits, but you can be at any age in high school and want to explore. Definitely look at our website and different college websites. I think you can get a lot of information off that, because sometimes when people come to visit me for a tour, they'll ask a lot of basic information, which is good, but I'm more of a visual person, so I do better if I can see it right in front of me. And I just recommend all students to just review the website, see what that college has to offer, because you may not remember all the questions of the tour that you want to ask. And if you want to write down all your questions, you can. I find that when students come and visit me, they'll forget certain questions. So have a notebook, have a pen, and look at the website just to get a good idea of what the college offers. Because most colleges, I know we do, we try to keep our website up to date as much as possible. But yes, we want to tell students as early as possible, look, this is what we can offer you. You have this amount of time to work towards it, and I know you can do it. So I know in my experience that alleviated a lot of stress from me, because I wanted to make sure I had everything ready to go up until my senior year. Senior year can be stressful. Parents can pressure kids a lot, and I know in my experience, I just wanted to have everything done. So if you start early, we'll welcome you. We'll give you all the information you need, and you'll be prepared.
So you heard that, students. And truthfully, like I said, that is universal for every college. As early as you can, start getting information, meet with these recruiters. They are recruiters because they are people. They love to talk to people. They love to interact. They would love to build those relationships with you. So definitely take advantage of it. We have covered a lot of ground in this mission. Seriously, thank all of you agents for your time. But before we wrap up, I would love for each of us to just take a moment to speak directly to the students. Let's give them some words of wisdom and advice for where they are right now. And it can be about college admissions or high school or just life in general. So let's start with Kelsey first, then Chelsea, then Colin, and then I'll finish us out.
So college is a huge decision, but you do not have to go at it alone. Your admissions counselors are here to help you. We're here to make the best possible decision for you. That senior year especially is gonna fly by and make the most of every moment. Always finish your assignments on time. Do your best and always listen to your teachers and do everything that you possibly can. I always like to tell students that you always want to look forward, but never forget where you came from, never forget where you started, and always remember to attempt great things for God as you expect great things from God.
So I work in the advisement center. I see students come in my office all day, every day, and they tell me I need to have a plan. I want to be able to graduate, but I'm not sure what I want to major in. Just know that you don't have to know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life when you first come to college. It may take you a few times. I attended Prover Community College, and guess what? I changed my major 6 times while I was at PRCC, but guess what? I still graduated on time with my peers, with my friends, and I moved on to the university. So if you don't know what you want to do right off the bat, it is totally fine. My thing is, have a goal, and if you change it in a way, that's okay. At least you can still attain your degree, you can still graduate, and if you want to move on to the next level, you can absolutely do so. But don't stress so much about needing to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. We have a lot of our students at PRCC that come straight to us, and they know they want to go to university. They're just not sure exactly what they want to pursue yet. The fact that we offer very affordable tuition and we offer the same academics that you would take at a 4-year institution for the first 2 years means a lot. So just relax, but work hard, and colleges will reward you for that.
Colin?
Yeah, and I'd like to, I'm kind of going along with what both Kelsey and Chelsea said, but my biggest piece of advice that I usually try to tell students is to just make the most of your experience. You know, your experience may be different for you as it is compared to your friend who you had in high school that's going into a different major or anything like that, and it's up to you to make the most of your experience. So that's capitalizing on getting involved, getting plugged in, meeting new people, you know, utilizing the resources on campus, you know, whether that's the tutoring services that are offered or whether that's student counseling services or going to the workout facilities, things like that. making the most of your experience and, you know, being able to have that goal whenever you walk across the stage at graduation, looking back and really feeling like you made a difference and Southern Miss also made a difference in your life, or wherever you decide to go. But for me as a former student, you know, I just love the opportunity to get to recruit for my alma mater, because I can speak personally about how much it really impacted my life. And so the biggest part of that was really just taking advantage of all of the resources and opportunities that were given to me here. And so my biggest piece of advice, just make the most of your experience wherever you decide to go, and then, you know, good things will follow.
All great bits of advice. And for mine, I actually have two really brief ones. The first one is, you do what you have to do now so that you can do what you want to do later. Do what you have to do now so that you can do what you want to do later. I did not love staying in my room studying. I did not love to study in college. So you know what I did? I sat in the front row of every class and I took really good notes. And when I got back to my room after each class, I would recopy all my notes in better handwriting. I would highlight them and categorize them. So I was relearning the material again while it was still fresh on my mind. And I found that that was an effective way for me personally to not have to study a lot, because I was getting the information twice, basically. And that proved to be effective, because I like to hang out with friends, and I was in a band, and I wanted to go on dates. I wanted to go on go to sporting events and parties and everything else. But I made sure that all my work was done early so that I could do all that stuff guilt-free. And you can truthfully have, not saying you have to take the exact same approach I did, but make sure that in life, you do what you have to do first so that you can do what you want to do later. Or you can do what you want to do now and be forced to do something whether you want to do it or not later. So that's my first piece of advice. And the last one is buy shower shoes. If you are planning to live in a college residence hall, not all of the bathrooms are the most pristine and clean places that you've ever been. You don't want to stand in there barefoot. Trust me, buy shower shoes, okay? So having said that, great wisdom there. I'm glad you guys could join us for Mission Get to College. And I'm really proud of every student who is on this mission with us and stuck with us to the end. That is awesome. And I want to point out that your workbooks have some contact information and next steps to help you keep the ball rolling, dig deeper, and find out which college and program is right for you. But before we say mission accomplished, there's still one more step you students need to take. At the bottom of your workbooks, there's a QR code and a link to the field report for this mission. In order for you to get credit for this assignment, you'll need to complete that short survey. So make sure you do that. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best on your journey. See you later, guys. Good luck.